Greetings, class. Just wanted to check in with you after our discussion on The Graduate. First of all, I have to say, and I'm not making this up, I've never said this to a class before, this was the best discussion on The Graduate of any class that I've ever taught, and I've been teaching this course and teaching this film for a number of years. So you guys did a great job. The observations overall were really, really good. Several of you picked up on points that a lot of my other classes don't pick up on. So that was really great to see. So some things that we're talking about. One of the traps that a lot of students fall into when they watch the film, which most of you did not, was that a lot of students will think that the film has a happy ending. That Ben wanted Elaine, he stops the marriage, they end up on the bus together. But when you read the article and you really look critically at the last scene of the film, there's this kind of what now type of look in their face, because Ben spends the entire film trying to escape the life that his parents are carving out for him, while ending up with his father's partner's daughter as they're whisked away, presumably back into suburbia. It starts to lead the viewer to believe that maybe he's doomed to that fate, and no matter how much he tried to break out of his parents' expectations for him, he'll eventually land there. So most of you picked up on that. I did post one general response. Remember, while the use of blocking to use one subject to block another was a technique in the film, blocking also refers to how the director instructs the actors to move throughout a scene. So just keep that in mind. Some other observations. Just reading over my comments. It seemed that most of you did read the article, which is good. That whole lifestyle of plastics, and where that's what his father does for a living, but it also represents this kind of fake suburban culture where everything is done for show, as we saw with Mrs. Robinson. The other interesting thing about the first scene and the last scene is that Ben's on a public conveyance. He's not in the driver's seat. He's not in control of where he is going, which is a huge metaphor for the film, because that's the theme of the film, is uncertainty about his future. A lot of you did a great job of exploring the theme of water in the film. Somebody had said that Ben, he must feel like one of the fish, which I think is pretty accurate, or he might even feel like the plastic diver, that all the fish are swimming around. And he's got two connections to this. Right before the affair starts, Mrs. Robinson throws the car keys into the fish tank, knocking over the plastic diver. So that could be a symbol for Ben there, and the strange turn that his life's about to take as he gets involved with this woman. And then he takes on that persona, obviously, later in the film when his parents give him the diver's suit as a present, and then proceed to humiliate him by making him jump into the pool with it in front of all their friends. Use of closed forms. Some of you have mentioned that. Closed forms, as we saw in the online lesson, gives the viewer a sense of confinement, as we saw on training day. And that absolutely is at work here in The Graduate, as it effectively represents Ben's feelings of being trapped in suburban culture. The costumes are very much upper middle class, as most of you pointed out. It's part of especially at the time when suburban culture was really developing in the 1960s, it was and still is in a lot of ways the American dream to end up like Ben's parents with a big house in suburbia. But when you read the article and you watch the film, you see that that's not what Ben wants for himself. He wants to be different. So he starts breaking away from that, and his costumes change throughout the film. Mrs. Robinson wears a lot of dark colors, but they're mostly animal prints. This is done intentionally to allude to her predatory nature, and a few of you picked up on that, which was great. The lyrics, the songs people used in their posts, which were really good. One of the lyrics, people talking without listening. This theme runs throughout the film. No one communicates very well in this film. Let me see if there's anything else that I missed. Water can be both a feeling of him drowning, but it's also like solace and solitude that Ben takes comfort in to escape his parents and their friends throughout the film. Um, and Margot mentioned that it was odd that he has a graduation party, but none of his friends are there. The whole film probably wouldn't have worked if his friends had been at the party. The fact that it was all his parents' friends and that he's supposed to kind of join their ranks, go to work for the plastics company, and be like his parents. That's basically that party that sets forth the events of the story. When we do our unit on story and writing, this is what's called the inciting incident. So without it, the story can't take place. So being surrounded by his parents' friends, as he's expected to now that he has graduated, to go to work for the company and become just like them, sets the entire film in motion. So we're going to do our next film for the week tonight. It's The Maltese Falcon. Along with this video announcement, I'm also going to post a video that I found on YouTube that's a great introduction to film noir. So I'm going to put that up there as well. So make sure you watch that. It's a 4-minute film school, so it's 4 minutes to just kind of talk about the themes of film noir that we'll not only see in The Maltese Falcon, but these themes pop up again in Blade Runner, which we'll see next week. The week 2 quiz is also available to take now. A lot of you really stressed out about the week 1 quiz, and I don't want to give you unnecessary stress, especially since so many of you seem to be working really hard on the course. So I gave you guys a full hour to do the quiz this week, which is like 2 minutes a question, which is actually quite a bit of time. So I'm hoping that this kind of alleviates the pressure and stress that a lot of you seem to be going through last week. I don't want you guys to get stressed out. So the quiz is available. As always, if you have any questions, post them to the questions forum, or if it's an individual question, email me. I look forward to reading your thoughts on The Maltese Falcon, which is a great film, and I will check in with you guys later in the week.